In this video, I'll discuss Dany's journey from the beginning and what she will do in season 8. So stay tuned for that. Hello everyone, welcome to Ultimate Book Maniacs, your one-stop for book and TV series reviews. I've already discussed Bran, Sansa and Arya's journey before in my previous videos. In this video, I'll discuss Dany's journey. I'll post another video next Saturday at 7 p.m. IST or at 9:30 a.m. EST. So make sure to subscribe this channel and also click on the bell icon to get notifications from my channel. You can also help my channel grow by joining me on Patreon at patreon.com/ultimatebookmaniacs. And I want to thank you Aaron Arguesius for contributing to my channel. So, let's begin. Daenerys Targaryen was conceived during the last month of Robert's rebellion. Shortly thereafter, Rhaella was sent to Dragonstone with the Targaryen heir Viserys before the sack of King's Landing. Dany was born 9 months after their flight, while a great storm raged on, thus giving her the name Daenerys Stormborn. Rhaella died shortly after giving birth to Dany. A couple of years ago, I had said in my Y R plus L equals D and B plus A equals J are wrong video that Dany was 9 months younger than Jon. Jon was born somewhere around the end of Robert's rebellion. At that time, I hadn't taken into account the amount of time it would have taken Ned to go from King's Landing to Storm's End to lift the siege and then from there to the Tower of Joy. Ned had been mad for Rhaegar's children's murder, while Robert had been pleased by it. Anyways, it would have taken him 2 months at most to reach the Tower of Joy. That still means Dany would at least be 7 months younger than Jon. Viserys and Dany had to run again just before Stannis set sail with his new-built fleet. The garrison had been prepared to sell them to Robert, but one night, Sir Willem Darry and 4 loyal men had broken into the nursery and had stolen them both and had set sail for the safety of Bravosian coast. In Bravos, they lived in a house with a red door. When Sir Willem Darry had died, the servants stole what little money they had and then they were thrown out. As you can see, Viserys and Dany have faced many betrayals from such an early age. No wonder Viserys had doubts that Drogo won't fulfill his promise. Dany and Viserys were left on their own now. They had wandered since then, from Bravos to Myr, from Myr to Tyrosh, and on to Qohor and Volantis and Lys, never staying long in one place. Viserys would not allow it. He kept insisting that Robert's knives were close behind them, but Dany had never seen one. They used to call Viserys the Beggar King to mock him. They had to sell what little treasures they had left, including their mother's crown. At Dragonstone, their mother had crowned Viserys King of the 7 Kingdoms, and it was the last blow to Viserys. Selling the crown took the last of Viserys' joy, leaving only rage behind. He became bitter, and Dany became the constant target for his outbursts. Just like Cersei had blamed Tyrion, Viserys had never forgiven Dany for their mother's death. He used to beat her and threatened her not to wake the dragon.
You don't want to wake the dragon, do you?
No.
Because of this, Dany became a scared little girl. But Viserys had once loved her. He used to let her crawl into bed with him and told her stories about the 7 kingdoms and their family, making her feel as if she knew what it was like. She loved him too, and that's why she had named one of her dragons after him. "We will have it all back one day, sweet sister," he used to promise her. The jewels and the silks, Dragonstone and King's Landing, the Iron Throne and the 7 Kingdoms, all they have taken from us, we will have it back.
I want us both to go home. We go home with an army, with Khal Drogo's army.
Viserys used to live for that day, whereas all Dany had wanted was to go back to the house with the red door. Illyrio Mopatis had taken them in eventually. As I had said in my which supporting character will sit on the Iron Throne video, Varys and Illyrio had known where Viserys and Dany had been all along, but they only took them in when Dany and Viserys became more desperate and Dany was closer to the age to get married. I discussed how Varys had an ulterior motive behind this. I'll discuss this in detail in my Varys' journey video. Anyways, Dany was sold off to Khal Drogo in exchange for his army to conquer the Iron Throne with.
I give him a queen, and he gives me an army.
They left Pentos after their marriage. Dany's entire body hurts from riding on horseback for days, and in the books, when she was about to give up, she dreams about a black dragon. The flames of the dragon cleanse her, making her feel strong and fierce and new. From that night onwards, she grows more confident. For the first time, she dares to fight against Viserys. She starts a loving and healthy relationship with Khal Drogo, and she starts to act like a Khaleesi and a queen. At Waste Dothrak, she eats a raw stallion's heart, and the Dosh Khaleen predict that Dany's son will be the stallion who mounts the world, a long prophesied leader destined to unite the Dothraki into a single Khalasar and conquer the world. Viserys grows impatient and threatens Dany and her child to get his crown. Khal Drogo gives him a golden crown, though not one he had wanted. When a wine merchant tries to kill Dany, Khal Drogo promises to give the 7 kingdoms to Dany. He leads his Khalasar south to plunder villages and to take captives to sell at Slavers' Bay in exchange for ships. Dany was disgusted to see the Dothraki raping women. She orders the rapes to be stopped and claims the women as her own slaves to protect them. Drogo was pleased to see her boldness and had allowed her to keep the slaves. Drogo was injured and Dany let Miri Mazdur treat him. Miri takes Rhaego's life through blood magic to save Drogo's life. Drogo was alive but in a catatonic state. If I look back, I'm lost. Using these words, Dany kept moving forward. She realized that she could hatch the dragon eggs with blood magic in exchange for 3 lives. So she used Drogo, Rhaego, and Miri's life and got 3 dragons who she names Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion after her husband and her brothers. Khal Drogo's blood riders left after his death and took most of the Khalasar with them. Only weak, old, young, or wounded were left behind. But Dany didn't give up hope. Again and again she was forced down or was backed against the wall, but she always found a way to fight back. She freed the slaves of Astapor, Yunkai, and Meereen, and after ruling in Meereen for some time, she eventually headed towards Westeros. And just like the prophecies of the stallion who mounts the world had predicted, she united the Dothraki into a single Khalasar. I know many people call her cruel and compare her to the Mad King, but Dany was nothing like Aerys. She usually put the need of her people above her own. During her march through the slave cities, the amount of people joining her had slowed their march. She knew that if she ditched them, she could move faster, but she didn't do it. In Meereen, when people claimed that Drogon was killing people, she locked away her own children for her people's safety. And after arriving at Dragonstone, she could have attacked King's Landing and won easily, but it would have cost the lives of the small folk. So instead, she chose the harder path. She attacked the Lannister forces instead, and upon capturing them, she gave them the chance to bend the knee. In my Who is the Real Threat video, I read some lines between Stannis and Davos. Stannis asks, "What is the penalty for treason?" And Davos says, "Death." Stannis says he is not a cruel man, but this is not his decree. It has always been so. Since Aegon's day and before, traitors have always paid with their lives. That's why I didn't like how Tyrion and Varys had judged Dany for killing the Tarleys. It's not fair to compare Dany to Aerys. In fact, Cersei acts more like the Mad King than Dany. In the books, Jorah and Barristan Selmy often compare Dany to her brother Rhaegar, who was well loved by the small folks. Also, Dany had risked her own life and the lives of her children to help Jon and his team beyond the wall. She had suffered many tragedies in her life, and where it broke and changed others, like Viserys, Tywin, Cersei, etc., Dany only became stronger for it. Instead of fighting for the crown, she chose to save the people of Westeros. If you like this video, please click on the like button below, share the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye. See you in my next video.